First one that really rubs me up the wrong way is if you can't buy it 5 times, then you can't afford it. How sway? To make people feel like if they sleep the standard average, I think, is it 6 hours or 4 hours? I can't remember. But to tell people that if they sleep that much every night, that they're lazy and they're not committed to working on their goals is absolutely ridiculous. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all having a great December so far, and hopefully everybody is like winding down for Christmas. If you're new to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button, be part of the family, and if you are already subscribed, welcome back. Appreciate you guys engaging with my content. So in this video I wanted to talk about how sometimes what could sometimes be positioned as motivational quotes or motivational style quotes in relation to money or self-improvement, etc., can actually sometimes be quite detrimental and actually can sometimes be bad vibes. I do think that just because something has good intentions doesn't always mean that it is good for you. And this is the kind of how I view like some of these motivational style quotes. So I wanted to talk about a couple of the money motivation or just standard motivational quotes that really grind my gears. And drop your comments below as well if you've got some examples of some that you have or you've read or you've seen that just make you go really. But yeah, let me just get straight into it. So the first quote that I've heard or read, where have I heard it? I feel like somebody has said this to me before, but I've also read it. First one that really rubs me up the wrong way is if you can't buy it 5 times, then you can't afford it. How sway? I think that quote is so stupid for a few reasons. Like, I kind of get the sentiments of it behind it in terms of making sure that you've still got money in your bank and that you're not going broke to afford to buy something. But saying to somebody that if you can't afford it 3, 4, 5 times, it means you can't afford it. But if I only want it once, why do I need to afford it 3, 4, 5 times? So if I buy a house now, are you telling me that if I don't have enough money in my bank to buy 5 houses, that it means I can't afford the one house? No. If I now save money to buy a sofa, let's say, and I've put my money aside and I've still kept to my bills and I've still got my own separate savings and I'm managing my money well and I've put money aside to buy a new sofa, are you going to tell me that because I haven't saved enough to buy 5 that I can't afford the one sofa? I really think sometimes like even things with the best intentions can still be negative, because what that tends to do, or quotes like that, make people feel that even if they've worked really hard to put money aside for something, it's almost kind of like mentally making them believe that they can't actually afford it, so therefore they need to try and put more money away. In a way, you could look at it in the example of like, if you watched my last video about the emergency fund and sinking fund, in terms of emergency funds now, I get it, like, you want to make sure that before you're out here spending, that you've got a good amount of money kept aside for emergencies and that you've got some money saved in the bank. I understand that. But I really cannot stand it when people say, oh, but if you can't afford it 3 times, don't buy it. But I don't need it 3 times. And as long as I have saved my money, as long as I am not dipping into my bills, as long as I'm not in like cycles of debt, I can afford it, okay? I don't need to save for it 3 times to be able to afford it. I really hate that quote. It really gets on my nerves. And I think it can be quite disheartening for people who perhaps maybe they are learning how to really budget well with their finances and they're able to put money away for certain things that they want. And then you're turning around and you're telling them, well, no, you can't actually afford it because you've only got enough money for one. If you only need one and you've kept this right amount of money to the side, you can afford it, babes. Do you? I find quotes like that quite discouraging, and I really think that we should stop saying that to people. Another motivational style quote that I really hate, that people love to throw around, is that we all have the same 24 hours in a day. First of all, no, we don't. And the reason why I say that is because there are people who have different ways in which they're able to manage their 24 hours a bit more effectively than others due to their lifestyle. So let's say you have somebody that's super rich that's able to afford for somebody to kind of take care of their household chores, let's say, whether it's cooking, cleaning, looking after their kids, etc. that's already taken up quite a few hours that you would be spending doing that you can then use to do something else. So kind of turning around and saying to people that we have the same 24 hours in a day, I think is, again, another quite negative quote to use, because you're effectively making people feel like they are either lazy or that they're not doing enough of what they should. And yeah, in some cases that might be the case, but I don't believe that everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. I'm sure that my 24 hours and somebody who works 3 jobs, let's say, trying to make ends meet, their 24 hours is going to look very different to mine. So I think it really is down to your individual circumstances, how you tailor your lifestyle, what you've got going on, what your responsibilities are, as to how much time you actually have for yourself, or how much time you actually have to work on your other goals. And that's not to say that you can't try and make time around that, but I think kind of saying to people that everybody's got the same 24 hours, so there's just no excuses, is just a very blanket and stupid statement, quite frankly, because we don't all have the same 24 hours in a day. And the last quote that I really, really, really cannot stand is when people say that they'll sleep when they're rich. Well, yeah, babes, you will sleep when you're rich because you'll be dead from sleep deprivation. So I just think it's ridiculous when people promote this lifestyle of sleep later, don't rest, you know, stay up for 24 hours and work on your grind, work a 9 to 5, and then spend the rest of the hours in the day doing something else. I don't think it's a healthy kind of lifestyle to promote. I think that you must dedicate adequate time to rest, because you are not effective if you're not getting enough rest in between whatever it is that you're doing and however you are managing your day-to-day lifestyle. Telling people that if they're sleeping, they're lazy, or sleep is for the lazy. Oh my gosh. Some of the sleep ones are just terrible. I'm like, first of all, your brain is not going to be at its full capacity if you have not rested or if you've not got enough rest. To tell people that if they're sleeping, they're lazy, first of all, you need to sleep. Like, you actually need to sleep. I get that there might be some nights that you might sacrifice sleep, or you may not sleep for as long as you usually would because you're working on something quite important. But again, to make people feel like if they sleep the standard average, I think, is it 6 hours or 4 hours? I can't remember. But to tell people that if they sleep that much every night, that they're lazy and they're not committed to working on their goals is absolutely ridiculous. And again, I think it's another example of kind of these motivational style quotes that are supposed to fill you with all of this like energy to make you feel like, yes, you're really doing something, but again, are actually detrimental to your lifestyle in the long run. Not getting enough sleep will catch up with you, and it's not going to catch up with you in a nice way, put it that way. So again, I think that if you're one of those I'll sleep when I'm rich dons, please keep your bad vibes way over there, because you see me, I will sleep is something that I do not joke with. Yeah, I need to make sure that I get a decent amount of sleep every night, and a comfortable sleep as well. Like, I feel like I'm at my most productive when I've had enough rest. When I've not had enough rest, that's when I am burnt out. That's when I'm not able to work on my goals, or that's when I'm not able to be at my full capacity at work, etc. You're just not of any real use to yourself or other people if you've not got enough rest. So please do not feel guilty for wanting to get a certain amount of hours sleep every night and wanting to feel refreshed when you wake up. That is important. It's what you need, and it's what will help you kind of be at the full capacity you need to be able to smash the hell out of your goals. So if anyone's telling you that you shouldn't be sleeping, please tell them to, like I said, take their bad vibes over there, because you see me and you and all the other smart people in the world, what we're going to do is sleep. So yeah, guys, those are my 3 motivational style quotes that I absolutely hate, and I think that they are they're framed to be positive, but for me personally, I think they're actually quite negative, and I think that they're actually quite detrimental to your lifestyle if you actually really listen to what they're saying. Please leave your comments below of examples of motivational style quotes that you guys hate, or that you have heard somebody say to you that has made you kind of question if you're working hard enough. And I think that's the main thing really with some of these. Some of these can make you feel like you're not working hard enough, or that you're not doing enough. And I think that's part of why I have such disdain towards them, because they are supposed to be positive. However, they make you feel worse about yourself because they make you feel like you're not doing what you should. And that's completely false. So yeah, let me know if you have examples of quotes that you have heard. Do share them below so that we can read them and make sure that we stay well away from taking in that kind of energy into our lives. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure you stay tuned for the next one.